13. Anastasia. The darkness in the back of this Uber is giving me more confidence than it should. Maybe it's the alcohol. Maybe it's the post-qualifying high. Maybe it's the way Nathan's body responds to mine, and how he's practically dicking down my ego by telling me I'm the hottest thing he's ever seen in his life. His hand is about an inch away from making this journey home more interesting. But I tried to avoid this, in my defense. I tried to sit with Henry, whom I knew would go entirely out of his way to ensure our bodies touched as little as possible. Shit, he probably would have forced me to sit on the floor of the passenger seat, and I'd have been good with it. But now I find myself dealing with the consequences of my actions with no one to blame for my aching, wet vagina but myself. My traitorous hips are moving of their own accord, a desperate whimper slipping from my parted lips as Nate slowly and deliberately rolls his hips forward, hand still interlocked with mine between my legs. His other hand leaves my thigh, and my arm instinctively raises to sink my fingers into his thick, dark hair. My breathing slows as he presses his palm flat to my body and travels across my stomach, over the curve of my breast, circling my nipple but not quite adding enough pressure for me to be satisfied. "Nathan," I whimper impatiently. His chuckle is dark and devious, telling me with no words that he does not give one fuck about doing what I want. His hand moves across to my other breast, the same frustrating light touch that has me arching into his hand just to feel more. "Nathan, please." I tug with the hand still gripping his hair, trying to ignore the goosebumps spreading across my skin every time his hot breath dances across my neck. His fingers finally pinch my taut nipples, nose nudging my head to the side, the stubble covering his jaw, scraping over my hammering pulse, teeth nipping the lobe of my ear. "You only like me when you're drunk and horny." Not true. I finally let go of the hand settled between my legs, leaving his there as he strokes against the inside of my thigh gently. I twist to watch him over my shoulder, his eyes dark and heavy as they meet mine. "I don't like you at any time." Lips crash into mine, and his hand moves to grip the front of my throat. It's rough and passionate, overwhelming and heated, and a whole host of other words my brain can't even process right now. He squeezes my throat as his tongue explores my mouth, moaning when my teeth sink into his lip. It's not enough. I want him closer, need him closer. He loosens his grip, trailing his mouth across my jaw, kissing and sucking my neck, voice rough as I roll my hips against him. "Don't tell me you don't like me when I can feel how wet you are all over your thighs, Anastasia. It'd be all over your hand instead if you did something." I'm incredibly close to taking matters into my own hands, although I'm unsure where masturbating in his lap would put us on the frenemyship scale. A normal person would be worried about their audience, but I could scream until the windows shattered and our exceptionally drunk friends wouldn't notice. Drunkenness aside, Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer came on the radio and Chris turned it to full volume. We're in our own little world back here. The temperature is hotter, the air thicker, tension stealing every last bit of oxygen from my lungs. I couldn't even tell you how far away from Maple Hills we are or how many minutes have passed since I climbed in here and settled on Nate's lap. His knees nudge mine farther apart, mouth descending on mine again, more possessive, more dominant. His nose brushes mine. "Can you be a good girl and be quiet?" I nod, prepared to finally feel his long, thick fingers easing the throbbing between my legs. Instead, He drags one finger gently over my swollen clit, and I can't help the huff of frustration that escapes me. I'm so close to doing it myself. Tell me if you don't know what you're doing, Nathan. The last time I goaded him about not being able to pleasure a woman, he proved me very, very wrong. His free hand sinks into the hair at the bottom of my neck, tugging so I look up at him. He increases the pressure on my clit, and a satisfied moan grumbles in my throat, jaw slacking as the pleasure rolls through my very tense and sexually frustrated body. Swapping to the heel of his palm, his other hand tightens in my hair.
One day, I'm going to fuck your pretty little mouth, and you're not going to be able to be such a bossy, impatient little brat. He covers my mouth with his, absorbing my satisfied moan as 2 fingers slide into me, deliciously stretching me. I shouldn't have promised to be quiet. The slick, wet noise of Nate's fingers pumping in and out of me would be enough for everyone to know without me even saying a word. The music is still blasting, our friends paying attention to anything but us, and the familiar red-hot pleasure shoots up my spine. Your pussy is so perfect,
he rasps into my ear.
So wet and tight.
My hips are bucking against his hand, incoherent pleads and moans slipping from my lips. My knees try to close, my body trying to shy away from the building feeling in my core. He pins my legs open with his, and I'm about to fall head first into oblivion.
You gonna come for me? Come all over my fingers, Anastasia? Show me what it's gonna feel like when I've got my dick buried inside of you.
Releasing my hair, his hand clamps over my mouth to smother my cries as the orgasm rips through me, and I give being so loud the windows shatter my best attempt. Every bit of me is physically shaking, pleasure spreading through my entire body until my eyes roll back in my head and my back arches off him. He keeps pumping his fingers until the spasming stops, and I slump into a sticky, satisfied mess on his chest. He gently pulls out his fingers and presses his lips against my damp forehead.
Open your mouth,
he tells me, a curious glint in his eyes as I look up at him, confused. I do as I'm told, too content to argue, and wait with an open mouth. He presses his 2 wet fingers against my tongue, and I immediately taste the heady, salty-sweet taste.
Suck. See how fucking good you taste,
he whispers. Nay. The music cuts off abruptly, and my entire body freezes, eyes widening as Nathan quickly pulls his fingers from my mouth and unpins my legs so I can close them.
Does anyone want McDonald's?
I promise myself the remaining 10 minutes in the car back to Maple Hills will be uneventful. Lola shoots me a suspicious glare over her shoulder as she drops the window. It's, too hot. Need fresh air. Looking up at Nathan, feeling a mixture of drunk, sleepy, sated, I wait until he looks down at me before whispering, "Does it smell like sex?" He snorts and presses his lips to my nose affectionately.
All I can smell is your shampoo. I'm going to be getting hard over honey and strawberry because it'll remind me of this. Very impractical, Alan.
Nate is right. It is very impractical. But right now, I don't mind. He holds me close, keeping me chatting and laughing until we pull up in front of his house. Everyone charges toward the door, some carrying full McDonald's bags and others attempting to carry each other. I follow Lola into the house while Nate helps grab Robbie and JJ, who are so drunk they're fast asleep. As soon as we're out of earshot of the other guys, she tugs my arm and drags me to the kitchen corner. "Did you have sex in the Uber?" Her voice says outrage, but her face says pride. So much pride. No, I did not. Technically not lying. You did something, Anastasia Allen. Large arms wrap around my waist from behind, and I feel his mouth kiss my shoulder.
Lo, Robbie said to tell you to go and get your chicken nuggets.
Her eyes widen, and she probably forgot all about them, knowing Lola. When she runs off in the direction of the living room, Nate turns me in his arms so we're facing each other, a pleased smirk on his face. He pushes my hair behind my ears.
Do you want to go to bed?
So badly. Grabbing a couple of water bottles from the fridge, he threads his fingers through mine, navigating us toward the staircase through his drunk teammates littering the living area. He lets me go first, his hand gripping my waist tightly to ensure I don't lose my balance in these ridiculously tall heels. Stop looking at my ass, Hawkins.
Stop having an ass that looks like that.
We finally reach his door, and I press in the code, frowning when the keypad flashes red instead of green. I do it again. Red. Your door is broken, I grumble, trying one more time.
It worked a few hours ago. Are you putting in the right code?
Yeah. I punch in the numbers again. 2539. It's red.
That isn't my code,
he says, shuffling me out of the way to put in 4 different digits. The keypad immediately flashes green. What do you mean it isn't your code? Have you changed it? He shakes his head, ushering me through the door. I'm adamant I'm right, until the tequila fog clears for a split second and I realize I'm not right. Nope. Sorry. Tequila brain. It's the code for Ryan's room. It's like the room temperature chills as I watch almost every emotion sweep across his face at once. Uncapping one of the water bottles, he takes a large swig, nodding to himself like he's having a conversation I'm not invited to. He kicks off his shoes, pulls off his socks, and unbuttons his jeans, dragging them down over his muscular thighs, reaching over his shoulder to pull his t-shirt off his body. It feels unfair to witness this for the first time, not stone-cold sober. I'm scared I've missed a muscle or an ab, perhaps a freckle somewhere on his chest. He's unbelievable, and he's not even reacting as I shamelessly stare at him as he walks around his room in tight gray boxers. He grabs a black t-shirt from a drawer, the Titans logo visible near the neck, and hands it to me. He sighs, finally saying something.
Ryan. Yeah, I forgot about Ryan somehow. The guy you're fucking.
I should have seen this conversation coming. We're not hooking up. Following him with my eyes, I watch as he sits on the bed, shoulder muscles tense.
You told Henry you're fucking him. I even got to see him in your bed.
He doesn't sound mad. He sounds... I don't know how he sounds. I don't know what's going through his head. We've had a friends with benefits thing for a while. He wants to date Olivia, so we've stopped. I shrug, hoping my brief explanation is enough, but I can tell by his face it's not. We didn't even do anything the other night. We watched a movie and went to sleep. He's my best friend, Nate, and it isn't any of your business. Why? Are you jealous? He ignores my questions, tugging my hips until I'm directly in front of him. I expect him to say something now, but again, he doesn't. Reaching to my feet, he unbuckles each heel and instructs me to step out of them. The relief of pressing my feet against the flat, hard floor after hours of torture is arguably better than the orgasm Nate gave me earlier, but I don't feel like now is the right time to bring that up. He runs his hands up the back of my thighs gently.
I'm jealous because I want you all to myself, Stassi, and I'm jealous of any guy you freely give your attention to. I'm even jealous of Henry, for fuck's sake, and I love that kid.
Ryan and I worked so well because we didn't get jealous. We didn't care what the other did outside of our arrangement.
That's swell, he says sarcastically, but I'm not Ryan.
He grips the back of my thighs and pulls them forward so my knees fall on either side of his hips, straddling him. I'm painfully aware of the no panty situation when my dress begins to ride up, stopping only when his large hands squeeze my ass and he uses his grip to grind my pussy against him.
I don't want to share you with some other guys. You know I can keep you perfectly satisfied all on my own, in every way you need.
This feels dangerously close to exclusive territory, something I do not want. I brush his hair back from his face and press my lips against the corner of his mouth gently. Stop overthinking and fuck me. It's not that serious. Rolling me onto my back, Nate climbs between my legs, applying pressure exactly where I want it. My fingers sink into his back to pull his body on top of mine so I can feel every breath. I need more friction, more pressure, more him. Do you have a condom? His nose brushes against mine. Once, twice. A garbled moan rumbles in his throat when I roll my hips against where he's straining against his boxers.
I fucking hate myself right now, but we're not having sex.
Of all the things I was expecting him to say, that was somewhere right near the bottom.
What? I don't want to have sex with you. No, shit, I do, but not right now.
He presses his forehead against mine, lowering his voice.
I want you to want me when you're sober, Anastasia. I can't do another week of you avoiding me. I fucking hate it.
The sting of rejection sinks to my stomach, and it's like I can't breathe. Oh, okay. That's fine. Could you get off me, please?
I didn't mean it the way it came out. I'm sorry. I just don't want to be another drunken hookup. Put the t-shirt on. We can talk or sleep, whatever you want to do.
What he's saying makes sense, but somehow it doesn't soothe the embarrassment I'm feeling. My lip wobbles despite my attempts to concentrate on him saying he does want me. It sounds like he only wants me if I offer him more, which I can't do. The need to please him and escape him are battling against each other in my brain, suffocating me.
Stassi, please don't cry. Fuck. I want you so badly. I just don't want the first time we have sex to be something you regret.
Saying nothing further, I reach for the Titan's t-shirt and head toward the bathroom. When I've changed out of my dress, cheeks still pink and eyes threatening to water, he's already in the bed, so I climb in beside him. He leans over and presses his lips to my temple, kissing repeatedly.
Do you want to cuddle?
I rest my head against the pillow. I'm not a cuddler. He chuckles, kissing me one more time.
Good night.
I wait until he's fast asleep before requesting the Uber.
14. Nathan. Sometimes I don't use the brain I've been given. It's embarrassing, and I'm going to own up and say I deserve the round of silent treatment coming my way. I'm a fucking douchebag. Possibly the biggest douchebag that's ever existed. What kind of a person has a woman under them, a woman they've been dreaming about for weeks, and tells them that they don't want to fuck them when she's asking for a condom? I couldn't have picked a more vulnerable time to reject her. I didn't even mean to. I hope she understands that. Even if she does, I still hurt her, even with the best of intentions. I was just drunk and jealous after she tried to get into my bedroom with Ryan's code. I've fucked everything up because I was petty. Great work, Hawkins. I wanted to show her I don't only want her when I'm drunk, I want her all the time. I like her spark, and I want to get to know her, but I well and truly fumbled the bag. I only realized she wasn't there when I rolled over, half asleep, to wrap my arms around her. She'd obviously waited until I'd fallen asleep. Not that I blame her. Since I woke up, I've been calling her, but her phone is going straight to her voicemail. She only gave me her number last night, and I practically died of shock. After she came, she was cute and sleepy and docile, curled up in my lap, babbling nonsense, asking me lots of questions, and looking up at me with her big blue eyes. I grabbed my phone from my pocket to check the time, and she muttered about not putting it in her eye line so she didn't see all the nudes I get sent. I unlocked it and handed it to her, telling her to enjoy herself, and she went to contacts and typed in her number. "What should I save me as?" "Your name is usually a good place to start," I teased. She giggled away, tapping her nails on the back of my phone. That's boring. I want to be slut from the Uber. No, that's a little long. Uber slut. Perfect." I couldn't help the snort. "You can't be serious, Anastasia," I challenged, but she was already tapping away happily. So now I'm stuck trying to get hold of Uber slut. Uber slut. Nate Hawkins. "Answer your phone, Stas." Nate Hawkins. "Please." Nate Hawkins. "Answer your phone or I'm changing your name." Nate Hawkins. "You'll have to be something boring like Stasi or Anastasia." Nate Hawkins. "No more Uber slut." Nate Hawkins. "I hope you were sober enough to remember that conversation." The last thing I fucking need is her thinking I'm calling her a slut. After staring at my bedroom ceiling for an hour and receiving 0 calls and texts, I finally dragged myself out of bed. JJ, Robbie, and Lola are eating in the kitchen when I finally make it downstairs. They look like hungover pieces of shit, but they're all laughing. Well, until I appear, and then Lola's eyes narrow. "Bed cold, Hawkins?" Dragging my hand down my face, I awkwardly shuffle toward them. I lean my elbows across the kitchen island and prepare myself for the torture. "I know, Lols, I know. How do you know so quickly? You haven't even been home yet." "Because we saw her trying to sneak out of here in your t-shirt an hour after you two snuck upstairs." For once, JJ and Robbie aren't saying a word. They're staring into the cereal bowls like it's the most exciting thing they've ever seen. I've been calling her, but she's not answering. "What's your apartment number? I'll drive over there." "Have you taken too many hits to the head, hockey boy? She's upstairs." She picks up her mug of coffee and brings it to her lips, still glowering at me over the rim. "I wasn't going to let her get into an Uber drunk and sad wearing just a t-shirt. She slept in Henry's room." "And where did Henry sleep?" I ask as calmly as I can manage. "I dunno, probably snuggled up next to her." Her smile is huge, borderline sinister. "They haven't come down yet. You know what they say about men in the morning being glorious. He's so sweet and kind. It's always the quiet ones, you know. Henry will treat her real good." I can still hear her cackling laugh when I'm halfway up the stairs, definitely too hungover to be running anywhere. "You're not funny, Lola." Henry's room is next to mine, so the fact I haven't heard a peep is a good sign. I knock on the door and wait for someone to tell me to come in. Now I'm standing outside the door, I can hear her laughing. I knock again, but nobody answers. Fuck it. 4 zeros because Henry is too scared of being locked out of his room and not being able to get any of his things. She's under the covers, bare face, wet hair, with a coffee mug between her hands. She's chuckling away at something Henry was saying, but when she spots me, her face drops a little before forcing a smile. Much to my delight, Henry is sitting on a half-inflated air mattress on the floor. He looks between the two of us and stands. "I'm going to get some breakfast." He shuffles past me awkwardly, and when I can hear him on the stairs, I step into the room and sit at the bottom of the bed. She sits up and rests against the headboard. She's still wearing my t-shirt, and fuck me, she's beautiful. "Stasi, I'm sorry." She gives the same forced smile. "You don't need to apologize to me, Nathan. You're allowed to withdraw consent at any time. I'd never ever be mad at you for changing your mind." She takes a deep breath, leaning to put her mug on the bedside table. "Stas, stop," I interrupt, inching closer to her. "I'm so glad you know that, and you're right. But it's not the case here. I wasn't withdrawing anything, I was just jealous." God, I feel shit admitting this. I thought if we had sex, you'd wake up this morning and disappear. I hate you being mad at me, and every time I seem to break into the icy fucking fortress you put up, something happens and I'm back to square one. She listens to everything I say. No arguing, no eye rolls, no sass. I struggle with rejection, she says softly. I've never been any good at it, even as a little kid. I felt rejected and overwhelmed last night. I only wanted to hook up, and you started talking about not sharing me. She shuffles on the bed, fiddling with the ends of her hair, and I can tell this is uncomfortable for her. I feel like you want a relationship or something more than I'm offering. I'm really attracted to you, Nate, but we hardly know each other. I'm sorry for leaving. I just didn't like it, and it made me want to get away from this situation. She's right. I like her, and I haven't even considered what she wants. I like that you know how to share your feelings. She snorts and brings her knees to her chest, pulling my t-shirt over them to hug herself tightly. I've had so much fucking therapy, it's taken years for me to say I struggle with rejection. Dr. Andrews will be so happy I managed to apply it to real-life situations. You can be his star patient. Listen, I'm sorry you felt rejected. That wasn't my intention. This is so fucking awkward. I wanted to ride your dick, Nathan, not cause drama. I need to be honest, I'm not into the whole exclusive thing. I don't like the commitment. I don't have the time. My schedule is full as it is. She couldn't be more direct and clear. I don't like any of it, other than the bit where she said she wanted to ride my dick, because I'd like that, but I can't fault her for not communicating. I hear you, Alan, loud and clear. Commitment phobe. Gotcha. For the record, now we're on the same page, you can ride my dick anytime you want. Oh, Nate, she coos in the cutest and most patronizing way possible, shooting me a smile that goes ear to ear. I'm not drunk anymore. You're back on my shit list, buddy. I'll consider taking you off it when you give me my rink back. I thought it was probation. When did it become a shit list? Am I at least at the top of the list? Am I number one? You're definitely number one. Being number one on Stassi's shit list is the easiest job I've ever had. We've trained before her and Aaron every day this week because of some shit Brady's got them doing to learn from their mistakes at regionals. The problem is that every day this week, we've started late and finished late because of some rant Faulkner has been on. She's been standing silently, seething with her arms crossed tightly across her chest, trying to murder me with her eyes. Stassi, I'd try as I got off the ice and would have to walk past her. Don't even start, Nathan, not unless you want me to beat you with your hockey stick. She'd say it so calmly, it was even more terrifying than if she was screaming, and goosebumps would spread all over my body. Yesterday we were busy winning our game in San Diego, so she had the rink to herself, but today I don't think I will get out of here in one piece. I can see her in my peripheral vision as I move up and down the rink. She's wearing a baby blue outfit today. The soft and delicate color feels weirdly unsuitable for someone so full of rage. While I can't see her body, I'd put money on it clinging to her every curve, so at least it'll be the last thing I see when she murders me. I spot her arguing with Aaron, which pleases me more than it should, but distracts me enough for JJ to bash into me, sending me flying into the boards. Pay attention, dickhead! Looking up at the clock, I know we're a good 15 minutes over. Faulkner has said we don't stop until he says so, and as long as Brady isn't stood tapping her foot impatiently, he's prepared to push his luck. Every muscle is aching since he's working us like we're Navy fucking SEALs and What the fuck is she doing? She's skating into the middle of the rink with a look of sheer determination on her face, and she looks Is she starting her fucking routine? She's going to get flattened. Where the fuck is Aaron or Brady? Stassi, get off the ice. She doesn't even look at me. She just holds up her middle finger and carries on as the guys skate around her. Bobby skates up beside me. She's going to get hurt, Cap. You gotta do something. She's floating around the rink between the guys, and I feel like I'm trying to catch a fucking butterfly. A vision in blue spinning and gliding, unfazed by the danger she's in. Half the guys haven't even spotted her, so they haven't slowed down, and embarrassingly, I'm struggling to catch up to her. Captain of the hockey team, and I can't keep up with a 5'4" figure skater. I'm never going to live this down. She finally slows down to do some fancy spinning shit, and I close the gap, scooping her up over my shoulder, ignoring her squeal of horror. Her fists bang against my back, and it's a good day to be wearing protective equipment. I haven't even said a word, but she knows it's me. "Nate Hawkins, put me down now." My hand is gripping the back of her thigh to keep her in place. I give it a squeeze. "Shut up, Anastasia. Are you trying to get yourself another head injury?" She's trying to wriggle off, but my grip is too tight, so all she can do is hit at me. And frankly, I've had worse. "Stop telling me to shut up. Put me down, Nathan." The anger is seeping through into every syllable, and I know I'm in for it as soon as I put her down. There are practically flames in her eyes when I place her back on the ground behind the boards where she'll be safe. Her cheeks are flushed red, fists clutching at her sides. Her hands fly to her hair, fingers linking together as she shakes her head exasperated, chest heaving. I'm trying to concentrate on her anger, not her tits, but it's hard. "Annas, if you ever—" Her eyes lock with mine, and I'm frozen on the spot, her voice dangerously low. "Ever touch me again, Nathan Hawkins, I will make sure the only job you can ever get on ice is a Zamboni driver. Understood?" I bite my tongue because, fuck, I want to kiss her so bad right now. Her hands have moved to her hips, and she's so fucking hot when she's mad at me. "Understood." "You're overrunning and you're fucking up my schedule. I have plans tonight, and I'm going to be late if you don't get off the freaking ice and let me practice." "What are your plans?" She huffs, crossing her arms across her chest. "Nothing you need to be involved in." "Hawkins!" Coach shouts, pulling my attention back to the ice. "Finish up!" I take one last look at her. "You look beautiful today." Her mouth opens and closes, most definitely not expecting that. The anger in her face begins to dissolve, her eyes soften, and almost like magic, a split second passes, and it all disappears. "Oh, fuck off, Nathan!" she shouts, stomping away from me. I feel like a detective trying to work out where she's going tonight. "Stalker is the word the cops would use, Nate," Henry informs me from the other side of the room. I wouldn't even put it past him to know where she's going. He probably asked, and she told him. That's how shit works with them two, isn't it? I pull out my phone and hope she takes pity on me now she's tired from practice. Uber slut. "Nate Hawkins. Where are you going tonight?" Uber slut. "Who is this?" "Nate Hawkins. You know who it is." Uber slut. "I think you have the wrong number. Sorry." Nate Hawkins. Nate Hawkins. "Don't think I do. Are you going to a party?" Uber slut. "Meeting some bikers." Uber slut. "Big ones." Uber slut. "Full of sperm." Nate Hawkins. Great choice of film to reference. Nate Hawkins. Such a brat. Uber slut. "Tell you what, Hawkins, you find me before midnight, and you can finally fuck this pretty little mouth of mine." Uber slut. "That way I won't be able to be such a impatient, bossy little brat. Deal?" Nate Hawkins. "You're going to look so good with my cock in your mouth." Uber slut. "Happy hunting." Anastasia has an affinity for using my own words against me, but now she's given me the perfect incentive to find her. Shit. Henry is right. I sound like a stalker.
15. Anastasia. I'm incredibly pleased with myself right now. Nate is 10 minutes away from my location, with only 15 minutes to midnight. He's been blowing up my phone all night, begging for clues. I haven't budged, nor has anyone else after being sworn to secrecy. Every party he fails to find me at, he gets more pissed at himself. He spent too long checking frat parties, which hindered his chances, and now I'm waiting for the minutes to pass. 12 minutes. Accepting his incoming video call, I smile as his grumpy face fills my screen. "You're still in LA, right?" "Tick-tock, Hawkins, your time is running out." He drags a hand through his hair and blows out a defeated sigh. "This is punishment, isn't it?
For playing late all week? You're still angry, aren't you?
Standing from the bed, I stroll around the room, keeping my eyes on his face while holding the phone out from my body. What do you think?
Of course you're still angry.
He sighs.
I know that.
I walk around the room's perimeter, watching the realization settle over his face. You should know not to fuck with my ice time, Nathan. 9 minutes.
You're in my fucking bedroom,
he says flatly.
Why do you have me running all over Maple Hills when you're in my bedroom?
Did nobody tell you there is a party happening at your house? That's strange.
I'm going to kill them.
It's a shame you're so far away and won't be back by midnight. I sigh dramatically, enjoying every second of this. I think I'll go downstairs and find someone else to be bratty with. Safe travels, Hawkins.
Anastasia, wait.
Convincing Nate's friends to mess with him was easy. JJ. Stassi, I need a favor. Stassi, it'll ruin Nathan's night. JJ, you have my attention. Stassi, might have told him he can do some stuff to some parts of me. Stassi, parts he really wants to do stuff to. Stassi, but only if he can find me on campus before midnight. JJ, and where do I come into this? Stassi, how do you feel about throwing a party after he's left? Stassi, one he doesn't find out about until after midnight. JJ, you're evil. JJ, I'm in. JJ, he's texting our group chat asking if anyone wants to go out tonight, LMAO. JJ and I have developed an unlikely partnership rooted in the mutual enjoyment of annoying Nathan. It started last week when there was nowhere to sit. Nate was looking over, practically undressing me with his eyes, so I decided to mess with him a little. Jaden let me sit on his knee, joking if Nate wasn't beside me within 90 seconds, he would pick up the whole bar tab. It was 27 seconds. He was also the person who stopped me from leaving after Jealousy Gate, putting me in Henry's room to sleep it off. According to him, Nate wouldn't stop to use his brain if he found me in his room, but he'd give the kid a chance to explain. It's because JJ is such an exceptional lover, his explanation, not mine, that makes him a threat to Nathan. It was fun staying in Henry's room. There's a box of essentials like shampoo, wipes, hair ties, and tampons in his bathroom. I asked if an ex had left them, but he said he bought them for if a woman ever stayed over. He wanted to ensure she had everything she might need, especially because women never have their own socks. I wish I had a sister so I could make her marry Henry because he makes my heart burst. Making my way to the kitchen to join everyone else, it's clear the spirits are high. It's a miracle they managed to keep the party a secret. Maddie appears, holding a bottle of champagne.
3 minutes.
Robbie passes out the plastic cups while Maddie pops the bottle.
1 minute to midnight,
Henry says, looking at his watch. Despite being October, it feels like New Year's Eve because of the unexplainable excitement and clock watching. There is a buzzing atmosphere in the kitchen, and anyone outside of our little group has no idea what's going on. I'm glad, because it's so fucking silly, but the guys love it. From what I can tell, they're sick of Nate being able to get any girl he wants. 3, 2, 1. The guys erupt into cheering, throwing back their champagne and high-fiving each other. A heavy arm drops onto my shoulder, and I look up at JJ's smiling face.
We make a great team, Ellen. He's about 30 seconds away. Are you ready for the fun?
Bobby and Chris have been on Hawkins' watch all night, secretly sending updates on where they're going and his frustration levels. He supposedly doesn't care about my proposal. He doesn't want to lose to me because I'd be unbearable, which might be the only thing we've ever agreed on. There's a clear line of sight from the front door to the kitchen island where we're all congregating. When he walks through the door, the first thing he does is shake his head, scanning the room full of people. He looks pissed. Lola giggles.
Yeah, that's for me,
JJ says, downing the cup in one go, and he can't shake the smile he's wearing.
If he didn't react the way he does, I wouldn't do it. He makes it so freaking easy.
I decide to meet him halfway, partially scared that if he reaches the kitchen, he'll kill Jaden, when a girl steps in front of him, wrapping her arms around his waist. He looks surprised, even more so than the rest of us. Lola leans forward, squinting. Is that Summer Castillo West? Summer lives in our building with our friend from the Honey Pot, and right now she's on her tiptoes, whispering into Nate's ear. His eyes find me, and after smirking at me, he winks. I down the rest of my drink. Yeah, it's Summer. An uncomfortable, poker-hot feeling creeps up my spine, although it isn't one I recognize. I have no desire to feel it again. It spreads to my stomach, turning when I see Nathan take Summer's hand and lead her toward the stairs. It's not anger. It's deeper than that. Agonizing and maddening, igniting me like fire. I think it's jealousy. Shit! JJ reaches up to scratch the back of his head, confusion etched into the soft lines of his face. He looks to the guys for support, but they're all examining their cups, avoiding eye contact. He clears his throat and looks back at me.
Nate's been chasing her since freshman year, but she's never taken him on. I don't know what's happening right now.
That makes two of us. I don't think I blink the entire time Nate and Summer are upstairs together. After about 10 minutes, I finally spot her on the stairs, but she's alone. Rejoining her group to carry on drinking, she doesn't look like she just hooked up with someone. Heading toward the stairs, I consider maybe this isn't a good idea. I'm fueled by alcohol, jealousy, and perhaps some disbelief. What's the worst that could happen? Part of me expects to bump into him coming down the stairs, pulling up his fly or something equally as gross, but I don't. Pressing the code into the pad, the right one this time, I watch it flash green. Nate's sitting on the bed in the same spot I was earlier on the video call with him. He looks significantly happier than he did when he walked through the front door, which instantly makes me irritated. What the fuck was that? I ask as calmly as I can, which, upon hearing myself speak, isn't calm.
Are you jealous, Anastasia?
I'm annoyed. He sits up straight, smirking as I approach him. You make me look like a fool in front of our friends. He scoffs.
You had me running all over campus when you were quite literally where I've wanted you the whole time. Imagine how foolish I feel.
You fucked another girl upstairs at a party I'm at. He stands. His body immediately towers over mine, the sweet smell of his cologne driving all my senses wild. He reaches out and tucks my hair behind my ear, ignoring me when I try to bat his hand away.
I never touched her. She got her period and needed to use the bathroom urgently. I've been sitting up here waiting for you to come and get angry at me.
He grips my chin softly, running his thumb across my bottom lip.
I've been interested to see how this no jealousy thing you were on about works.
Fuck. Well, I'm angry at you, Nathan.
Good.
So fucking angry.
Perfect.
Our mouths smash into each other in a crazed, drunk, and desperate display of built-up sexual frustration. Gripping the back of my thighs, he lifts me, letting my legs wind around his waist. My hands sink into his hair as our bodies work in unison to get as close to each other as possible. There's nothing romantic about what's happening. My body is sandwiched between his and the door. Our tongues fight for dominance, and his hands sink into my ass cheeks. A tortured whimper escapes me when he grinds his pelvis into me, and I feel how hard he is. Trailing his mouth along my jawline, he nibbles at the spot beneath my ear, making my whole body quiver.
Tell me you want me to fuck you, Anastasia.
You tell me. My hard words lose their impact when he sucks on my neck, and I literally moan them. Before I know what's happening, he sets me down on the edge of the bed and crouches to my feet, taking off my shoes. It amazes me how he can switch from rough to gentle in seconds. When my shoes are off, I tuck my feet beneath my ass and watch him stand. There's a small moment of quiet where we just look at each other. My heart is still hammering, blood burning beneath my skin, everything hypersensitive. His eyes are pouring into mine, so I don't miss the flash of surprise when my hands reach for his belt. Can I?
Fuck yes.
He helps me strip him down until he's standing in front of me in only his boxers, which is the moment I realize there is absolutely no way it will fit in my mouth, or anywhere else for that matter. Nate is smirking as I sit gobsmacked. I shake it off because I'm not a quitter, and I'm certainly not giving him the satisfaction of telling him how big it is.
I've been tested recently and there's nothing to report, but I can put on a condom if you want me to?
He asks as I run my hands up the front of his thighs. I shake my head and watch as he takes himself out, tightening his fist around the base and pumping a few times. He bends down and kisses me on the forehead.
Tell me to stop if I'm too rough, okay?
One hand holds the back of my neck, and the other guides his hard dick toward me.
Stick your tongue out, baby.
I do as I'm told, much to his immediate delight, swirling it against the head, tasting the heady, salty taste on my tongue.
That's a good girl.
I wrap my lips around the tip and suck gently. His hand leaves my neck and immediately sinks into my hair.
Fuck, Stas.
He moans loudly, and just like that, I lose my ability to wait for orders. Placing my hands on the front of his thighs, I lean forward, taking him until he hits the back of my throat and I splutter. A series of expletives echo around the room. His other hand sinks into my hair on the other side as I take control. I wrap my hand around the base and move it in rhythm with my mouth, moaning and gagging, looking up at him with watery eyes. His head falls back, stomach muscles flexing, deep, satisfied grunts as his hips drive forward, nudging deeper.
So fucking good, baby. You are so fucking good.
His thrusts get harder and sloppy, telling me how close he is, and when I cup his balls gently with my free hand, he's a goner.
Oh, shitting fuck, Stassi.
His hands tighten in my hair as he spasms, and I swallow everything he gives me, eyes still watering and throat raw. I clean up the corner of my mouth with my thumb, licking it clean. I still feel bratty, I tease, and impatient. His laugh is deep, spearing me in a way I'm not used to. A content, post-orgasm glow has flushed his cheeks. His eyes are glossy and wild, and he looks beautiful.
You're unbelievable.
Nathan lifts under my arms to pull me to my feet, tugging at the strap of my dress.
This needs to come off.
Who's the bossy one now? I spin on the spot so he can pull down the zip. His lips drop to my shoulder, kissing me all over while he pulls down the straps, and the material falls to my feet. My entire body feels like it's filled with frantic, untamed energy. He's being so controlled and slow, purposely torturing me, dragging out the inevitable pleasure. When his hand palms my breasts from behind and his fingers roll my nipples, my ass instinctively rubs against him.
Ask me nicely,
he whispers into my ear.
I'll fuck you so good.
The more Nate tells me to ask nicely, the closer I get to telling him to fuck himself. I brush his hands off from where they're exploring my body and crawl into the middle of the bed, propping myself up on the cushions. His knee drops onto the bed to follow, but I press against his chest with my foot to stop him from getting any farther. Stand at the end of the bed. He looks confused, but curious, eyes narrowing as he walks to the end of the bed. My fingers slip below the material of my panties, shimmying them down my legs. His eyes widen when he realizes what I'm doing, and he leans forward to grip the bed frame. I spread my legs as wide as they'll go, giving him the perfect view of how dripping wet my pussy is. That way, he'll have no problem watching me plunge 2 fingers into myself. Nathan. The slick, wet sound is the only noise in the room, other than my cries and moans and the occasional Jesus Christ from him. His dick is already hard again, protruding proudly from his pelvis with cum glistening on the end. I take turns circling my fingers against my swollen clit and pumping them in and out of me while Nate looks like he's combusting. I think it's the moaning of his name that's doing it, and how my back arches and I grind into my hand. Ask nicely, I tease, and I'll let you fuck me.
You're an evil woman,
he grumbles, hand rubbing over his face.
Let me make you feel good, Stas.
He moves to the drawer and pulls out a condom, tearing the packet and rolling it onto himself. Crawling slowly toward me, he settles between my thighs and reaches for a spare pillow, instructing me to lift my hips so he can put it under the bottom of my back. I can't concentrate on what I'm supposed to be doing to myself because he's on his knees between my legs, body looking like it's been sculpted by the actual gods, and a thick, long, hard dick.
Do you want me to fuck you, Anastasia?
Yes. Yes, I do. Nathan leans his body over mine, one arm supporting his body and the other gently cradling my head. I reach between us, rub the head over my clit, making us both shudder and line him up.
I'll be gentle,
he murmurs, affectionately nudging his nose against mine. I sink my teeth into his bottom lip, immediately running my tongue over the same spot. Don't be gentle. Fuck me like you hate me.
16. Nathan. Is this going to be what happens every time I get her alone in my room? I mean, I'm good with that, but it feels too good to be true. I've been thinking how it'd feel to have Stassi naked beneath me for weeks. I thought about what it'd be like to fuck her when she called me rich kid hockey star and proceeded to tell me how much she didn't give a shit about hockey. I should have known the trouble that was coming my way then. I have no idea how I will make it out of this alive because my imagination hasn't done her justice, not even a little bit. I'd say she's going to ruin all other women for me, but I don't think about anyone but her. As soon as Summer stepped in front of me, I knew Anastasia would be unhappy. She rightfully called me out for being jealous in the past, so when the opportunity to give her a dose of her own medicine without actually rejecting her landed in my lap, I couldn't turn it down. I know what it looked like from the kitchen. I watched all their faces sink into horror. The guys know how long I've been after Summer, but for the first time I wasn't interested. Yeah, I was shocked too. I got her some tampons from the box of shit under Henry's sink and sent her back downstairs. I was expecting Anastasia to hold out longer. Summer would have only just reached the bottom of the stairs before she was storming up them. Maybe she didn't like Rothwell as much as she likes me, and she does like me even when she says she doesn't. It's ideal she was here the whole time. Now I can keep her up here all night and fuck the jealousy out of her. I affectionately nudge my nose against hers. I'll be gentle. Her teeth sink into my bottom lip, catching me off guard, her tongue sweeping over the same area. Don't be gentle. Fuck me like you hate me. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to act like I hate you, Anastasia. Her body squirms, desperately searching for something to dull the ache. Her eyes narrow, and she leans forward so we're nose to nose. Why? Because I could never hate you. I hold the back of her head to keep her mouth next to mine, absorbing her loud, satisfied cry when I slide into her, stretching her slowly. I'm going to fuck you like this tight little pussy is mine. You'll take it like a good girl, won't you? I've stunned us both to silence, except for our matched pants and her soft moan when I roll my hips. She's soaking wet and is gripping me so fucking good, it's hard to believe I'm expected to do anything else ever again. It's taking every shred of self-control to stay still and let her adjust, knowing her bossy ass will let me know when she's ready. It's not until I'm hovering over her that I realize how much bigger than her I am. You just had to give me all of it, didn't you? Fucking show off. Her fingertips travel across the planes of my back as her hips begin to wriggle, the sign I need to pull back and thrust forward again. I'm only giving you half. Her hooded eyes snap wide open, and she sits up to look down at where our bodies join. But I think you can take more. Pulling back, I thrust forward as far as I can until I meet resistance. Her nails sink into my shoulders, back arching, pushing her stomach into mine. Oh my God! You feel so fucking good, Anastasia. Such a perfect pussy. Her legs wrap around my hips, ankles crossing at the bottom of my back, tightening to keep me there when I'm deep inside her. Nate, she whispers like a prayer. It's so big. Full, She's trying to finish me just with her words, and fuck, she might manage it if she carries on. My head falls to her shoulder. I press my lips against her collarbone, then up her neck until our mouths are crushed together, a desperate thrashing of tongues and lips. One hand tugs my hair, and the other claws at my back. She's close. I can tell by the way she's writhing below me, by the way her breath hitches when the end of my cock brushes against her G-spot, by the way her face twists with ecstasy when I get deeper. I remove the hand cradling her head and slip it between us, thumb rubbing against her swollen bundle of nerves until her whole body is arching and her jaw drops. Come all over my cock, Stas. Give it to me. Her entire body tightens as she cries my name into my shoulder, nails sinking so deep I'd be surprised if she hasn't drawn blood. With her pussy pulsing around me as I slow down, I press my lips against her forehead and roll us over so I'm on my back, her body soft and limp on my chest, my cock still buried inside her. That was... she pants. Did you come? Not yet. I want to watch you ride me. Stasi on top of me has been the star thought of every shower I've had for the past week. Ever since she said it out loud, it's all I've thought about. The way her eyes glimmer as she looks at my face, a coy smirk on her lips. I know I'm fucking in for it. She sits up straight, sliding down on my dick slowly until she's taken every inch. I look at the space between her legs where we're joining, and there isn't a slither of space. Jeez. Like this? She asks gently, brushing her hair from her face. I nod, hands sinking into her hips, unable to formulate any actual words. Her hips swirl and grind down, and my breath catches in my throat. Or like this. Yeah, baby. Just like that, I tell her, voice strained. I know Stasi is flexible from watching her skate, so I don't know why I'm so surprised when she stretches her legs out to each side doing the splits. What about like this? Can't talk or think. I go deeper. I don't fucking know how or where it's coming from or where it's going. She places her hands on my stomach, lifting herself up and down. The bolt of pleasure crashes into me hard, and I'm gripping her hips so tight she'll have marks for days. You're incredible. Fucking incredible. Every rock of her hips is the perfect rhythm, and I'm losing my mind. I snap my hips up as she comes down, and her head falls back. Right there. Yeah, right there. Collapsing onto my chest, her fingers reach up to grip my hair. Still rocking back against my thrust, the satisfying sound of slapping skin echoes around the room, and I'm suddenly glad there's a loud party on the other side of my door. Stassi's body is perfect, strong, and flexible, with a round, fleshy ass and full tits. None of that even matters when it comes to how fucking good it is feeling an orgasm rip through her. You gonna come for me again, Anastasia? I tease as her legs tremble and her fingers dig into my skin. She mumbles something incoherent under her breath, her tanned skin shimmering under my bedroom light, baby hairs stuck to her forehead, an exhausted, satiated look on her face while she takes every inch like a fucking champion. I wrap my arm around her waist to keep my hold on her and slip my other between our joined bodies. I apply light pressure to her clit, and she shatters. I deserve a medal for not busting right now because her entire body tightens, which seconds ago I would have said was impossible. She's trembling, hips bucking as she rides out her orgasm, crying my name. You're a demon. She reaches up, pressing her lips to mine, our bodies still stuck together in the best way. Real-life freaking demon. I never had you down as a quitter, Alan. I tuck the hair hanging over her face behind her ears, cupping her face in my hand. I take a second to look at her. Flushed cheeks and a lazy smile as she turns her head to kiss the palm of my hand. You are so goddamn beautiful, you know? You're already fucking me, Hawkins. You don't have to blow my ego, too. There she is. My post-coming, docile, affectionate girl is gone, her typical bratty attitude restored. I slap my hand against her ass cheek, rolling her onto her back again. Pulling out of her, I chuckle at her whimper of disappointment and her squeak of surprise when I flip her onto her stomach. I can't go again, she moans. I can't. I tug her hips until her ass is in the air, and this view is what I'm going to dream about every night. You want to stop? She looks at me over her shoulder and shakes her head. Good. Hold on to the bed. Her hands reach out and grip the bars of my bed frame, head resting against a pillow, trying to watch me as I position myself behind her. I genuinely don't think I've ever been this hard. I rub my cock up and down, taking extra time to circle her oversensitive clit, making her body shudder. When she's impatiently whimpering, I finally line myself up and sink into her again. She meets every thrust forward by pushing back onto me, her ass bouncing off me and letting me go even harder. My hands fit perfectly in the curve of her waist, and the noises she's making aren't going to let me last long like this. I told you I was going to fuck this pussy like it's mine, Anastasia, 'cause it is fucking mine. Nathan, she's moaning, but still manages to sass me. In your dreams. Let go of the bed. Satisfaction bubbles under my skin when she immediately listens to me, doing what she's told for once. Pulling her back to my front, I want her closer, need her closer. I run my tongue along her shoulder to her neck, tasting the salty sheen on her skin. One of my hands snakes up her body to her tits, and the other cups between her legs, feeling my dick move in and out as she bounces on it in a fervent rhythm. Her entire body is trembling, chest heaving, pussy throbbing around me. It's too much. It's too good. I can't. Don't be a quitter, Anastasia. My fingers slowly tease her clit, deliberate and controlled, and she's almost there. Her mouth tilts toward me, hips bucking and grinding, eyes rolling back. I crash my mouth into hers as she screams, squeezing me so fucking tight I can't hold back, spilling into the condom. It's like fire spreading across my entire body, consuming and engulfing me, suffocating me in the flames. I'm twitching and spasming inside her well after we've stopped moving, the pleasure flooding through me. Was that better than hate sex? I grumble, forehead falling to her shoulder. She starts laughing, her body wiggling in my arms. Oh, my God, shut up, Nathan. The downside of having a house full of people, other than having a house full of people, is trying to sneak around. After finally convincing myself to slip out of her, I dispose of the condom and pull on some sweatpants. She looks over from the bed, nose scrunching when she realizes I'm a man on a mission. "You've melted all my bones," Anastasia says. She's naked on my bed, her stomach flexing as she takes controlled breaths. She looks incredible. Unbelievably, after all that, my dick twitches, but if I suggest going again right now, she'll murder me. She watches me cross the room toward the bedroom door. "Where are you going?" I kiss her forehead and pull a blanket over her, ignoring her frown. "I'm about to open this door. Do you want to risk whoever might be standing outside of it seeing you butt-ass naked?" She shrugs. "I'm going to steal shit from Henry. I'll be back in a minute." Henry is the MVP tonight, and I think I'll be going to Target tomorrow to buy a box of girl shit. I punch in all the zeros and stroll through, getting the shock of my life when Henry is in his boxers making out with a half-naked girl on his bed. "Oh shit," I shout, covering my eyes. "I'm sorry, buddy, fuck. I need to get that box of stuff from your bathroom, I'm sorry." "Daisy," the mystery girl says. I keep my hand over my eyes and head toward the bathroom, closing the door behind me, immediately finding what I need. I've stolen shower gel, shampoo, conditioner, a hair tie, and a brush. I take one last look, deciding to grab some socks, too. I balance them on one arm and use my other to shield my eyes as I venture back out into what should be classed as no man's land. "She's gone. You can move your hand," Henry says flatly. "I'm sorry, kiddo. I didn't think you'd be up here. Who's the girl?" "Someone I know. She's Briar's younger sister." He sighs, and I feel so guilty. "Next time you've got a girl, Cap, don't leave her alone or I'm taking her." "Great. You probably could, bud. I won't come back, I promise. Go find your girl." Anastasia is where I left her when I let myself back into my room. I just cock-blocked Henry by accident. "No more talking to him, Alan. He said if I leave you alone, he's taking you." She's still laughing after I've put the supplies in the bathroom and walked back to my bed to scoop her up. "He could, you know. He's got that mysterious but sweet thing going on." "Don't I know it? Women love Henry." I turn the shower on to the correct pressure and temperature and step us in, gently putting her back on her feet. I reach for the shampoo and she huffs. "Nathan, I can do this myself." "Why would you do that when I'm here to do it for you?" She doesn't fight me as I methodically move my fingers through her hair, coating every strand in suds and washing them away. My fingers sink into her shoulders, her body lulls, and she leans back into my chest, sighing contently. It's quiet and peaceful here, a stark contrast from earlier. Well, until I pick up the conditioner bottle, squinting at the tiny instructions. "Where the fuck does this go?" She folds over, laughing. "The ends?" I scrub her from head to toe, and when we're done, I wrap her in the biggest, fluffiest towel I've got. Stassi flips from tame and passive to irritated quicker than anyone I know, but by the way she's snuggled into my chest, you wouldn't know it. I grab her a Titans t-shirt from my drawer and pull it over her head, pulling on some boxers myself before laying her down on the bed and climbing in beside her. I couldn't care less about the loud party outside my door. I flick off the lights and lie down beside her, wrapping my arms around her when she immediately shuffles toward me. She drapes her body over mine and immediately falls asleep, soft snores tickling against my chest. Instead of going to sleep myself, I lie in the dark, listening to her breathing and trying to devise a plan to make her not want to do this with anyone else. And I come up with absolutely nothing.